Welcome to your Sculpt Sneak Peek. This is going to be a sample workout for what you can expect over the full 4-week program. And even though this workout program will progress with you, today's workout is very beginner friendly and it's pretty indicative of what you'll expect around week 1 leading into week 2. We will use today weights and yoga blocks. The weights that I have, I would say, are light to medium weights. I have 5s, 8s, and 10s. If you don't have a lot of weights on hand, that's okay. You can get away with a single set of dumbbells if that's all you have. And I do have yoga blocks that I will show you how to use and how to kind of assist you in some of the yoga movements that we do and also challenge you in some of the strength training that we'll do. So this is a really good example of what you'll expect, including yoga, that mobility, that strength training that you're going to see in every workout. And because we don't have a ton of time, we will have a pretty limited warm up and cool down. If you need more than that, pause this, stretch real quick, cool down afterwards if you need it, but let's just go ahead and get started. Now, I am using a full workout mat here. If you have a yoga mat, that might help you just as far as where you're placing your footing and knowing where center is and all of that. So I will present some cues to you on the basis that you probably have a yoga mat or something similar in front of you. So I am going to start at the top of my mat. We're just going to set our feet about hip width apart, arms out to the side. Nice inhale in. Arms come down as you find that forward facing fold, flat back, slight bend in those knees. Bring those hands to your shins. Come up for that flat back. Bend those knees, come all the way down, plant those hands, step your feet back so that you're in a plank and position your hands underneath your shoulders. Now we're going to go down and do what's called a chaturanga, which is like a tricep push-up. You are absolutely welcome to drop your knees here, especially as you are learning the form. You are going to, from this plank position, come a little bit forward and lower down. We're just going to hold here in this low plank. And again, at any point, you can drop your knees here if you need to. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, press up and press those hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Now we're going to just bring those feet out just a tiny bit wider, and you're going to press those hips down and back into a beast. Coming forward through plank, bring that right foot just outside of that right hand. Right hand comes up and down inside of that foot. Right foot comes back. Hips come back over to the other side. Left foot comes outside of that left hand. Left hand comes up and back down, and we are in it. Going at your own pace, the faster you go, the more of a cardio move this is. Now, I'm still warming up my body, so I am moving a little slower than I might move a few minutes in, which is totally okay. We're just warming up those legs, warming up. I'm getting a little shorter of breath probably. Let's do, after this, one more on each side. Come back, step up. Now, coming back to beast, press those hips up, back to plank, looking between those hands. You can just step or jump to the top of that mat. Come all the way up. We're going to pick up some weights here. So I'm going to show you what we're doing before we get started, because I am going to be using some 10-pound weights. And whether it's from the top of your mat or you're looking at me head on, you're going to shift that weight over to that left foot, and you're going to step back into just a high lunge, and then bending that back knee and stepping up. We're pressing up, bending that knee and pressing up. Now, after you do that, you're going to curl and press up, and curl and press up. And you were with me now, right? I want you to point those elbows down. And because we're still warming up, sometimes you might not get a full straight leg in that back leg. That's okay. Hip flexor is still a little bit tight. So to be expected, I would much rather your body be upright and your hips be tucked in than you be worried about that straight leg, okay? Now, as you press up out of that front heel, you're gonna start to feel that glute. And the next time you come down, I just want you to hold it here and pulse. It always looks good on paper, you guys, until I start doing it and I'm like, dang, I think this is gonna be a little burny. Okay, now step up just to relieve that leg a little bit. And I want you to come down here. Just bend that body forward, forward facing fold. You're gonna bend that left knee, step back again, and this time you're gonna pull those weights up and tricep kick back. So just stay here in this lunge. We're warmed up that left leg already, so you're probably feeling that left glute. Something I like thinking about just to kind of distract me as my leg is just seriously burning is thinking about feeling my full foot pressing into that mat. That weight is evenly distributed there. We have 3, 2, and 1. Step up. Now, if you can, pull that leg all the way up into a balance. I'm going to face you now just so you can see me. Pulling up into a balance. Find that balance on that left foot. I'm telling you, I'm not perfect either, especially with that balance. Bring those weights up here, and we're going to do an Arnold press. Now, if you need to find a kickstand here, find a kickstand. Maybe part of the way through, you pull that leg up. Maybe like me, you topple over right at the beginning. That's okay. We have 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now let's pretend I'm back at the top of my mat. We're gonna set that down here and we're just going to do a little bit of a reset here. Forward facing fold, slight bend in those knees, coming up halfway, lower all the way down, plant those hands, step or jump back into plank, and we're going back into that chaturanga, okay? Just like we did the very first start of this workout, you lower down. Now you're gonna tilt that chest up, curl those toes, press those hips back. Look between those hands, step or jump to the top of that mat. Come up halfway, those hands come to your shins, find that flat back. Lower all the way down, bend those knees, reverse swan dive up, meaning bring those hands out to the side. Nice inhale. Let's do it on the other side. Finding those same weights, you're gonna find that balance on that opposite foot. So shifting that weight over to the right, step back into that lunge, press down, or lower down rather. Now add the arms, so your elbows are pointing down. You're bringing those weights up to those shoulders. Don't mind me. Just trying to catch my breath over here. We have 3, 2, last one. Now lean forward. You can keep this foot on the mat over here. Step it back just a little bit. Press back into those tricep kickbacks. Now, as your arms get tired, they're going to drop down here. So I want you to think about keeping those elbows up and back. Dig that heel into the mat. And 3, and 2, and 1. Let's see if I can come all the way up here. Find that balance. Yes. I'm just scooting to the front to see you here. Do those Arnold presses. Again, if you need to have a kickstand here, do it. I couldn't find my balance either. This gives you just a little more work in your core. It gives your ligaments and your ankles a little bit more work. And as we age, that is muy importante. Keeping that balance. We have 2. We have 1. Okay. Set those weights down. Coming up to the top of the mat. We're going to be without weights here for just a little bit. Arms come up, forward facing fold. If you want to have those yoga blocks handy, I'll show you how you can use them here. Slight bend in those knees, coming up halfway, lower all the way down. Plant those hands, step or jump back into plank, lowering down through that chaturanga. Upward facing dog, curl those toes. Meet me in downward facing dog. Pedal out those feet a little bit. Now finding some stillness there. Looking up between your hands. Step that left foot between your hands, and you're just going to press up into this high lunge, just like we were at the beginning. No weights this round. And you're going to turn that back heel down, so you are in warrior 1. And sometimes this is a little less accessible. This hip flexor might be really tight. We're 10 minutes into this, totally normal. When you open your arms up into warrior 2, that might feel a little bit better. So warrior 2, your body is like equally distributed between that front leg and the back leg. So I don't want you leaning forward here. I don't want you leaning back. Your body is straight up and down, and your feet are 4 feet apart. Warrior 2. Now flip that front hand over, and as that hand comes up, this back hand comes down. This left hand comes up to the ceiling, keeping that bend in your leg. Now this hand can be on your back, on your hips. Just don't have it on that knee. You can be lower than that if you want. Now coming back through your warrior 2, I want you to come all the way forward through this side angle lunge. And this is where this block might be helpful for you. So in side angle lunge, I like thinking about creating this line between my fingers all the way down to my toes. So we're not bent over like this. We're not like this. You can also have this forearm on this leg if you want to, as long as you're not into that shoulder like that, okay? So you're barely leaning on this forearm, or you have this block right here, or you're all the way on the ground. Whatever works for you. Some days I use a block and some days I don't. Now press up through that warrior 2. Straighten that left leg. You're going to reach forward, creating some space here between this leg and your body. Reach forward and fall into your triangle. And this is where I think it's a little bit more accessible for people too. If you flip this hand over to come towards you, it gets a little easier to create that line from hand to hand. And you might have your block here too. Now bend that knee as you come back into warrior 2. Swing that back hand around. Lower this right hand down to the ground or onto this block. The left hand comes up. Feels pretty good on that left hip actually after all of that booty work we just did. Bring this left hand down. Arms come up. Step that right foot up. Let's find that whole thing on the other side. I'm actually just going to come over here so it's easier for you to see me. Shifting that weight into that right foot. Step that left foot back. Finding that high lunge. And again, you might not have a full bend in this knee, okay? I'm more worried about this pelvis staying forward and your hips not tilting back. We don't want to have this severe bend in that lower back. So having that slight bend in your knee, especially as we're only 20 minutes into this, totally normal. Now, back heel comes down, open up into that warrior 2. We're going to sit here for just a moment. I hear a lot that this front leg starts burning out. So another reason I like reminding you, that weight should be even between that front and back leg. So if we're feeling it much more here, you might be leaning more forward than you realize. Throw a mirror up where you work out. Record yourself. Nobody else has to see it, just to check. It's one of the best things about me recording myself all the time is me just like being like, whoa, what was I doing there? What's happening? Okay, now we're going to flip that front hand over. Come back into that reverse warrior. Nice side body stretch here. And floating forward through that warrior two. Then we come all the way down into your side angle lunge. And you might have a block here. You might have your forearm here. Just going to stay here for a few breaths. Make it even. You know, got to kill this side as much as we did the other, right? One more breath in. And on that exhale, come up, back through. Warrior two, swing that hand around. High lunge, bring that left hand down. Right hand comes up. Now right hand comes down, pressing up through that high lunge. Step that left foot to the top of that mat. And now we're going to do something a little fun. You're going to need a block and you're going to need a weight, 2 weights actually. Let me show you what we're doing before we actually get started. I am going to have 2 weights here. I'm going to use my 10s. And this is something that you're going to see in this program, and you may or may not. I'm actually going to move this up here so you can see a little better. You may or may not end up increasing your weight, which is why I like doing some lower body with some of the mobility, but I also like doing more lower body on its own to make sure we're really getting into some of that progressive overload in our lower body that we want. So I'm actually going to drop my weights here just to show you first. Before, if you've never taken like a sculpt class or you've never stepped on a yoga block before, I highly recommend getting cork blocks. There's like foam blocks out there. These are just heavier, more sturdy, and you're going to feel safer. They're not going anywhere, you know? So I wouldn't recommend doing this on foam blocks. If all you have is foam blocks, not a big deal. Just step to the side and do it on the ground. This just adds a little more challenge and a little more to those glutes. So what we're going to do is step on your block and step back so that when you're lowering down into a lunge, this back leg is straight, as this front leg is straight. Turns out balancing and looking to the side are challenging for me. Good to know. We're just going to come here. We'll be here, and then we'll be back here. Those are the only 2 positions you need. So if you want to just figure out this distance and see what that looks like, I am going to pick up the weights and we will be in it. We are going to start with 8 pulses here, 8 pulses here, then 6, 4, 2, 1. You got it. Okay. So we are in it. We're going to start. This first foot comes probably 6 inches behind this block. The weight is in the heel that is on this yoga block, and we are in it for 8 pulses. 4, 3, 2, 1. Step back to more of that lunge. There we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Step up for 6. Step back for 6. Just trying to find my life here. Don't mind me not chatting. Last one. Step up for 4. Whoa. Step back for 4. We're almost there. 2 and 2 and 1 and 1. Step back. Wow, that was a lot. Right to the other side because the other leg really didn't do a lot of work in there. Right to it. Let's get 8 here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're back. Now, here's something you might not know. The more you lean forward, the more you're going to get into that glute. 3, 2, 1. When you're upright, you're going to stay more in that quad. You can go a little further over if you want to be in that glute. 2, 1, 6. My dog is looking at me like, what are you doing? Breathing so heavy in my space. 2, 1. Step back for 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, and 2. All right. 1 and 1. Step back. Oh my gosh, you guys. That is definitely more indicative of week 2 than 1. Did I not say we'll be doing stuff from week 1 and 2? Let's just do a little reset here. Hips or feet hip width apart, arms come up, forward facing fold. Slight bend in those knees, hands come to your shin as you come up to a flat back, lower back down, plant those hands, step or jump back to a plank, lower down through a chaturanga, upward facing dog, curl those toes, meet me in downward facing dog. Now this right foot comes up, you're in 3-legged dog. I want you to bend this knee and just rotate out that hip a little bit. Now straighten that foot or straighten that leg. Bring that foot in between those hands. Press up through that high lunge. We're going to go through the same series we did earlier. Starting on that opposite side, we're just going to move a little quicker. Open those arms up. Warrior 2, flip that hand over. Come back, reverse warrior. Come forward. Straighten those legs. Reach forward. Come down into triangle. Bend that knee. Side angle lunge. Slightly different, but you know the moves. Press up through warrior 2. Swing that back hand around. Hands come down. Foot comes back. Press up to that downward facing dog. Left foot comes up behind you. Bend that knee. We're going to go into those same hip circles here. Find some stillness there. Press that left leg straight. Bring that left foot between those hands. Press up through that high lunge. Open up into that warrior 2. Come back, reverse warrior. Come forward, straighten that leg, reach forward, fall into your triangle. Bend that left knee. Find that side angle lunge. You might be here, or you could be here. Press up through warrior 2. Right hand comes back around. Step to the top of your mat. Forward facing fold here. Slight bend in those knees, coming up halfway. Lower all the way down. Plant those hands. Step or jump back into plank. Knees come down. Press back. Knees can come actually out a little bit further. Big toes come together. Come back into your child's pose just for a moment. We're going to do one more short series and then cool down. Coming back up into tabletop. I'm actually going to grab my 8s and have them handy here. You'll only need one weight. You can have 2. I'll show you what we're doing. It'll make a little bit more sense. But we are going to start by coming into plank, and you're going to come into side plank holding a weight. Weight comes to your side, press up, back down. Now, I'm going to show you the alternate version. Your knees can be down. You shift onto side plank on this side. The straight line is from your armpit to your knee, okay? Weight comes up to the side, press up, down, and repeat. We'll do 12 of those on each side, and then we'll do one more move, and we're done. Okay. Are we ready? Pressing up into that plank, grabbing that weight, having it closely to the side, press up, down, same side here. Cling that to your chest and then press it up. Cling, press up. So you're getting into your back, into your lats. You're getting into your shoulders from that left hand that's holding you up. We have 6. You're getting a little bit into that chest as you're pressing up. Obviously, you're getting into that core. We have 3. All right. 2. Last one. Come down. Bring those knees down if you weren't already down on them. I'm going to just switch over here so it's easier for me to see you. And we'll go right to that other side. Coming up into that plank. Cling and press. And down. All right. We've got 10 more. At any point, if this feels too hard, drop the weight. Put your knees down. No one's judging you, right? Like, this is you against you. You got to do what your body needs. You know when you can push yourself a little more, and you know when you're at your edge and you need to pull back, even if it's just for a few breaths before you come back into it, okay? We have 3. Oh, boy. 2. 1. Down, knees come down. Okay. This is your last move, and it's core, and it's deep core, because that's what we get asked about all the time. This program is full of deep core. That lower belly, we're blasting that the next 4 weeks. Let me tell you what. Okay, so I want you to think about this form here. From tabletop position, I want you to think about having a flat back. And I don't just mean pressing up out of your hands, which I want you to do. Just slightly curve that pelvis towards you to the point that you do feel those lower abs. If you can't feel your abs when you're in a flat back, just curve them in just a little bit, okay? So you're in this tabletop position. Curl those toes, come up into bear. Now step out into plank and back into bear. And that's it. That's 1. We've got 20 of them. Are we ready? Knees come up, right leg back, left leg back, right in, left out, right out. Just follow. We're already 3 down. That's 4, 5, in. You can drop those knees if this gets to be too hard at some point. We have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I'm laughing because this is hard. Last one. Knees come down. That's it. That is it for the work today. But let's stand up, do a little bit of extra stretching. This isn't my typical yoga class where we end in Shavasana. We are ending in a little bit of a short stretch and then on with our day. So finding that wide leg stance, forward facing fold here. Bring those hands down. Walking those hands over to the right. Now walking those hands over to the left. Now, just turning towards the left, bending those knees, shifting that weight back over those hips, coming into this half split here. Come forward, plant that right hand, raise that left, maybe bring up that left knee. Now bring that hand inside of that left foot, bring that right foot forward. Come forward, shift those hips back into that half split. We are wrapping up our stretches. I'm probably going to hang here, get a little more stretching done. That is it for our sample today. I can't wait for you guys to try this entire program.